Hey, what's up guys? My name's John. Welcome to Daily Theology. In this video, I want to tackle an idea called scientism, and I think it's very important. It has tremendous implications for the people around us as well as those we're trying to reach with the gospel. So this is from Al Mohler's Friday The Briefing, which he does a news show where he goes through various topics, and here he talks about scientism. He says, well, what is scientism? It's a worldview, and it's a rival worldview. Imagine Al Mohler saying this to Christianity, that says there's only one ultimate epistemistic avenue. Epistemic. Basically, only one way to know things. Epistemic. There's only one ultimate source of truth, and whatever comes out of the scientific worldview, the scientific method, or even what scientists call science now, if you're looking at the rise of this worldview, it wasn't really possible until the late 20th century. So basically, he's saying the idea that material things, material causes, you put in a hypothesis, and then whatever the output is, if that is verified by your process, then that is truth. That is your worldview. Problem with this is it cannot account for things like transcendentals. It cannot account for uniformity, morality. It cannot account for logic. It cannot account for anything, really. It's just observed in the present and then assumes that it can infer morality, and you can't do that. Because their morality is just based on whatever their opinion is. So let's see what he says here. And this is in reference to embryos and embryo harvesting and things that are very, very sketchy and very, they seem, just from first glance, it seems evil. And what you see here, in fact, is the entire argument is based upon the idea that science is the ultimate way of human knowledge, that whatever science must do is driven by the morality of ever-increasing scientific knowledge. All other moral issues have to take a back seat, but you're also looking at something else, and it's the outright claim that only scientists can determine what science is and what scientists can do. So if you're not in the club, if you're not in the high priestly club of the scientist group, then you have no authority. And what this is called a faulty appeal to authority. Listen to me, I'm the expert. I think we've lived through that for the last, what year is this? A little while now, where scientists are given an unequal voice in morality, moral issues, and even in theological issues, because when this religion of scientism crosses over into the true and living God, the triune God of the Bible, you see it starts to cause some problems for believers, and none of that is outside of God's providence or God's sovereignty, but we must remember that this is a different religion. This is the religion of scientism, where material causes and testing and repeating things is the only way to know things. The problem with that is you can't guarantee that future results will be like past results. That's actually called predicting the future. So all science is based on predicting future outcomes, and that's not possible. The only reason it works is because God upholds the universe in a uniform fashion. To assume the past will be like the future is an illogical jump. And you say, well, I've experienced that in the past, so I have reasonable certainty to assume this is going to work this way in the future, but that contradicts everything in that worldview that says everything is random and breaking down. And so anyways, it's a very bad worldview, but it is a religion. And we need to know about it. We need to be educated on it. And so I would encourage you to check out The Briefing if you're not looking at this from time to time. There's helpful commentary that Al Mohler gives. And we have to remember, too, if people don't have the mind of Christ, this is ultimately a spiritual issue. This is an anthropological issue. This is a where did man come from, where are we going issue. And only the Bible can explain that. The Bible is God's redemptive plan to save his people for his glory. And the way that he did that, the way that he accomplished that, is he lived a perfect, sinless life, the God-man Jesus Christ. On the cross, he bore an infinite wrath. He physically shed his blood, died, and rose. He was taking the wrath of God that you deserve on the cross if you are one of his sheep, that he physically paid that debt, died, and is risen and reigning, and he's coming back. God's plan was to have a kingdom of citizens, and that is still his plan. His plan was never altered. He did this for his glory, to the praise of his glory, as the Bible says. So if you haven't yet, please remember to hammer that like button, like the 95 Theses, and subscribe to the channel. We would greatly appreciate it. Thank you, and God bless.